Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I'm fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. Maybe you could let me know where you are watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are outside the republic. I want to begin this video by asking you guys a question which most Kenyans were actually asking yesterday. Is William Ruto turning out to be a dictator? Kenyans were asking that question because of two issues which emerged yesterday. The first issue which emerged was Uhuru Kenyatta security. William Ruto withdrew Uhuru Kenyatta security. And the Kenyans were like, it's part of the constitution. Why would Ruto withdraw those security? Even if he wanted to withdraw them, the timing was not right. I did a comprehensive analysis about that withdrawal, and you can check it in case you missed it. The other issue which emerged, which is going to form the basis of this analysis today, is the issue of Rigathi Gachagua and Musalia Mudavadi being banned by William Samoei Arap Ruto from meeting Kenya Kwanza members of parliament from their regions. Why would William Ruto ban Mudavadi and Rigathi Gachagua from meeting members of parliament from their respective regions? For example, Rigathi Gachagua has been banned from meeting with members of parliament from Mount Kenya. Mudavadi has been banned from meeting in the form of caucuses, from meeting with loyal members of parliament. Why would Ruto do that? Before we get into all those details, in case you are watching this channel for the first time, I want you guys to take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. Let us get back to the issue. Immediately after the 2017 general election, William Samoei Arap Ruto embarked on early campaigns. William Ruto targeted members of parliament, especially from Rift Valley and from the mountain. By the time Uhuru Kenyatta realized William Ruto had already consolidated the mountain, especially members of parliament from the mountain, behind him. So when Uhuru thought of changing that, it was late. So because William Ruto understands the game, he's now telling Mudavadi, and he's also telling Rigathi Gachagua, that you are not allowed to meet with these members of parliament from your regions. You can meet 2 or 3 of them, but you can't call parliamentary group meeting for the mountain and chair it. Why do you think he's doing that? If you ask me, William Ruto is doing that strategically for the following reasons. Number one, if you ask me, it is William Ruto's strategy to stop Rigathi Gachagua specifically from directly taking charge of Mount Kenya members of parliament. And that is the fact. The truth of the matter is that William Ruto is William Ruto today because of the support he got from the mountain. At some point, Rigathi Gachagua had started bragging how he delivered the mountain to Ruto. The truth of the matter is that Rigathi Gachagua is actually one of the beneficiaries of Ruto. If Ruto had not endorsed Rigathi, he would not be the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. Probably if Ruto had someone in mind, that person would probably be even a member of parliament. Rigathi would not have been a member of parliament. So William Ruto understands Rigathi Gachagua's game plan, that Rigathi Gachagua is now trying to take control of Mount Kenya members of parliament. And that is something which William Ruto is not going to allow. William Ruto wants a situation where he deals with Mount Kenya members of parliament directly. So that if he wants to call the Mount Kenya members of parliament meeting, he calls them and they come. If he wants them to attack Uhuru, he will call them and they'll attack Uhuru. But if he allows Rigathi Gachagua to meet with them the way he wants, their allegiance will start shifting to Rigathi Gachagua, because Rigathi Gachagua is today the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. So for me, William Ruto has banned Rigathi Gachagua because he wants to continue controlling Mount Kenya politics. So that is my first theory. Number two, if you ask me, William Ruto is also keen on avoiding the temptation of creating additional or more centers of power. You know, William Ruto is the president of the Republic of Kenya. He's the party leader of UDA. He's also the leader of Kenya Kwanza. Now you allow Mudavadi and you allow Rigathi to emerge, which means members of parliament, there are some members of parliament who will then be comfortable with Musalia Mudavadi. If they have issues they want to be sorted out in government, they'll go to Mudavadi. And because Mudavadi has interest in 2027, he will listen. And because of course, he has a responsibility. If members of parliament from the mountain want something from Rigathi Gachagua, they'll go to Rigathi. That will create centers of power. So we are likely to have a center of power in Nairobi and Sugoi, that is William Ruto. Then we have another center of power in Sabatia, Mudavadi's home. Then you have another center of power in Nyeri. So that members of parliament from the mountain every Saturday will be meeting in Nyeri. The ones from Luya will be meeting in Vihiga. Those will be creating centers of power. William Ruto wants to remain a very powerful president where all members of parliament and their allegiance, especially those in Kenya Kwanza, are only to one man. The disadvantage of allowing center of power to emerge, it means if, for example, you know why Ruto managed to win against Uhuru? Because Ruto created a center of power, then Uhuru made it very difficult for members of parliament to reach it. So most of these members of parliament would just go to Ruto. They would just go to Ruto. They would just go to Ruto. Ruto would sort them. Then by the time Uhuru realized he didn't have anybody, there's nothing he could have done. So Ruto is avoiding the temptation of allowing another center of power to emerge. And Ruto is not going to allow that. He wants a situation where if he wants Rigathi to take up the mountain, he will. If he wants someone else like Ndindi Nyoro, he will introduce Ndindi Nyoro and will take. He wants a situation where in Western, you don't even know who is the real leader, whether it's Mudavadi, whether it's Wetangula. So that's point number two. Number three, I also tend to think that Ruto is keen on stopping members of parliament from airing their grievances, their complaints. For example, according to that story which I read, most of these members of parliament had issues, especially with the nominations to the East Africa Legislative Assembly. Where what happened? Rigathi Gachagua led Kenya Kwanza brigades from the mountain to vote for Kanini Kega. What Ruto wants is a situation where MPs don't have a voice. If you want a voice, then you wait for a parliamentary group meeting at State House. At State House, you arrive, you are given tea, you enjoy a moment with the with the president, then he issues you with whatever you want. So basically, some of these members of parliament are saying, we are being shortchanged. The lawyer members of parliament. You need to do this, you need to do this. William Ruto doesn't want them to air those grievances. The ones from the mountain are saying, these appointments, why are we not getting what we need to get? We delivered. Mudavadi never delivered. So these grievances and complaints is what Ruto is trying to avoid. Because if they are aired, the media will pick them up, people will start talking about them. So it's just trying so hard to avoid them. Number four, in my view, is that William Ruto is keen on taking control of parliament directly. If you look at the way he crafted the Kenya Kwanza coalition agreement, Musalia Mudavadi is supposed to work very closely with the leadership of parliament. Rigathi Gachagua is not really that. But Ruto wants a situation where he's the one who controls parliament, Kenya Kwanza MPs. If he can't control Kenya Kwanza MPs, there will be a problem. Because, the leadership skills are also different. Members of parliament from the mountain, probably you might not know, they might not respect Mudavadi the way they respect Ruto. So Ruto wants to take control of parliament. He can only do that if Mudavadi and Rigathi are not allowed to meet members of parliament directly. And number 5, which is also very, very important, William Ruto is keen on forming a mega political party. Why? A political party will be able to bring Mudavadi, bring Gachagua, and any other individual together. Once they are brought together, then William Ruto can now execute his game plan. Right now, if you allow Mudavadi to meet with Kenya Kwanza members of parliament from the Luhya nation, he will also meet the UDA one. He will start convincing them to join his party, ANC party. He will not want a situation like that. What about the mountain? They might end up forming their own political party. William Ruto would not want that situation. So he's planning to have a mega political party. And because he plans to have that mega political party, if these meetings were to continue, it was going to be very difficult to convince lawyers to merge ANC party. So he's dealing with it. And lastly, I think the fear he has is that if these MPs are allowed to talk, to meet, they'll talk. And if they're allowed to talk, they'll definitely disclose to Kenyans the internal war between Rigathi Gachagua and Musalia Mudavadi. Kenyans will just conclude that these guys are not in talking terms. I don't know what you think. That's my take. And I want to ask you this question before I leave. What do you think Uhuru Kenyatta should do after Ruto withdrew his security? What do you think Uhuru Kenyatta should do after his security was withdrawn? I'm waiting for your comment. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.